How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to be changing my brake pads on my 2018 Honda Civic Si. Don't worry, I didn't abuse them too much. So I don't think you can actually see the pads. I mean, you might be able to. I can't really tell. But they need to be done. The rotors are fine, like completely brand new and fine. I'm just going to be doing the front pads. I thought I might as well just record it and show you my car. I love the rear end of this car. I love the single tip exhaust. I think it looks really good. So these are the tools you're going to be using. You don't need this many. You probably only need a couple. Preferably a jack stand too. I would be working in my backyard right now, but today's actually the first day of spring and it's still really wet back there and muddy and stuff, and I do not want to drive this car. I kind of like work out of a shed back there. It's not super huge, but I do have a toolbox for like all my tools in there. So it is a real hassle trying to bring all of my tools to the end of my driveway. I usually get my lawnmower and put the like the little trailer on the back, but it's like I said, it's really muddy. It would get stuck, and I'm just gonna wait. This is the first day, like the weather's actually been like 50 degrees, so I thought it was like the perfect day to do this. Before you actually jack up the car, you need to break these bolts loose. I actually have a wheel lock that I gotta get. You need to break these bolts loose because if it's in the air, it's gonna spin, and yeah, I'm gonna just break them loose on both sides before I lift it up, so it'll be easier. Okay, that was actually really scary. I thought I just broke my camera for a second. Second video, already fucking broke my camera. I do not advise what I'm doing. I'm just gonna leave this up on the actual jack. I'm not gonna put a jack stand on it. One, because of my driveway. Oh, there's cracked plastic under there. That's not good. Oh man. One, because I'm on my driveway, and two, I don't need it. I mean, I probably do. I could put one up like right there, but I'm just... Oh no. My jack's not working that good. Oh no. It sits in my shed like all winter. This is another reason why you should use a jack stand. It sits in my shed all winter and it's like super freaking cold. So it's probably a reason why it's not working that good. They're already loose now, so I'm just gonna use this to take them off fully. I put the wheel lock away, so that means I have to do this with my fingers. Wow, it's actually like super warm out today. First day of spring, it's 50. Thank God. Thank God. Got a lot of tread left on these tires. I want to put this underneath, but the worst that could happen if it fell would be nothing. It would just fall back on this. What is this stuff? Ew. It's like goo. So everything under here is pretty much stock. I could have got away with a little bit more. Actually, nah, I think it's good that I'm changing them now. So this is like a super easy caliper system. Wow, this is like easy, like just 2 bolts. Oh, so, are these okay, so these are aluminum calipers. I actually like these way better than the metal, like the actual steel ones or whatever they're made of, because they don't rust. They do get a lot of brake dust on them and it kind of stains it since aluminum's more porous and it kind of like sticks to it more, but I could always paint these. I like this way better than the other one because it never loses its like silvery color. So the size socket that is, it's a 14mm. And this should be actually simple, very simple to do. Me trusty old copper pipe. I can actually pour this a little bit more. There you go. That was easy. Yeah, a normal trick you could do too is you can get a rubber mallet and just agitate it on the end of the wrench, and it'll break it loose. Try not to do it on ratchets too much, because then you could actually break the inside of the ratchet. So it's better to just do it like on an open, not an open face wrench, a closed face wrench that you can just stick on the end of the bolt like that. Yeah, the caliper just falls right off. Like, I've never worked on brakes that easy. Oh, what I forgot is you're supposed to get a plunger to push this back. And or you're supposed to, and I should have got a jack stand so I can hold up the caliper. Actually, I can put the caliper right here. Yeah, the caliper can go right there. Now, there's a tiny little retention clip that just holds the pads together to keep tension on them so they don't get stuck or anything like that, I think. So these actually just slide right out. I mean, they're worn super evenly. I mean, it is a brand new car, so I wouldn't be surprised. I hope the camera's actually even pointed at me. I mean, I'll show you. So, like, that's how much I had left, which is not a lot, but usually when you see how there's like a groove there, I could have went to that groove, but once, what I've learned is that once the, why is it not focusing? Okay. Once it gets to, like, once the actual pad material gets to, like, the backing plate, like, size, that's time, it means it's time to change the pad. But you can tell that it's, like, super straight and it's not actually, like, in bad condition. So I could have got a little bit more out of it. These are a performance pad. They're the R1 Concepts Ceramic Series brake pads. Their quote is actually "Stop the world." I don't know if that's a good thing or not. This is what a new pad is supposed to look like. I hope you can see that, right? So this actually has a lot of meat left on it. The reason why I'm not doing my back brakes is because back brakes typically don't wear out as much as the front, because most of the braking force when you stop is on the front of the car. Like, the weight transfer in inertia is on the front of the car, and that's why your front pads always need to be replaced before your rear. And it's the same on all-wheel drive cars, rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, any wheel drive, three-wheel drive. What is my dog doing? Yeah, no, I definitely went through a lot of pad. So, old pad, new pad. So I'm gonna use this one for this side. The pads are actually made a little bit differently too. Mostly because these are more of a performance pad, I guess. R1 Concepts Performance Braking Parts, Ceramic Series. This is the Ceramic Series is more like their comfort and performance series. It's not like super high performance. There's not going to be a crap ton of brake dust, and it'll just like have improved stopping capabilities, but they won't be too loud. Stop barking! And there you go. I love working on new cars. It's just so easy performance stuff. So this is not going to work because, as you can see, the plunger needs to be moved back because I can't actually fit the caliper back on. So what that means is I need to get, like, there is a tool that you can like push down and it pushes the piston back in. But you could also get a pair of, like, not vice grips, but like, I guess, what are they called? Like bench pliers or something like that, and like squeeze it down. So I'm gonna get one of those. So this is what I was talking about, like these bench pliers. You're gonna want to be careful because when you're actually pushing this plunger back, you're pushing the brake fluid back through the system, and if you ever get your car like professionally done at a shop or something like that, and they just say, oh, you need more brake fluid, do not do it, because when you go to change your pads and you squeeze this back, all that fluid's going to shoot back out the master cylinder, and it's going to go all over. So you do not want to do that. Alright, so the new pads are in. I'm actually gonna use some form of lubricant, and it's Loctite. These are just so the bolts don't back out. Surprisingly, they didn't use any from factory. They usually do. Just a so it's hot out, and liquids are now way more liquidy. So what Loctite is, it essentially just after it dries, it makes like this plastic coating around the bolt and expands. What that is it just locks the bolt in place to make sure that it doesn't back out. You definitely do not want bolts backing out on your brakes, because then you won't stop, and that is no bueno. Before I actually forget, there is this little plastic bracket that's supposed to go back on. There's 2 little holes on the pad, so you have to put this back on. I mean, this isn't necessary, you don't have to do it, but it does keep tension on the actual pads, so it's better if you just put it back to the way it was. Now, I don't know the torque specs for these. I could probably look them up and torque them down, but like, after you do it for so long, there's only, you kind of just know how tight it should be. And you could probably look it up. I don't know how much it would be. Typically on calipers, this style, the bolt kind of backs out and you know that you can't move it anymore. And that and the Loctite, I mean, you should be fine. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I've never had a personal issue with that myself, and I've changed a lot of calipers in my day. This car really needs to be washed. I'll probably make a video on that. Not today, because it's supposed to drop back down to freezing temperature. No, the box! Now you want to do this in a crisscross pattern. You don't just want to do in a circle, because you want to evenly distribute the torque around the wheel, so you don't have it like do this on the highway or something like that. So now that I torqued those 2 down, I would need to torque that one down, and I need the wheel lock. Now be careful. You can use an impact with the wheel lock, but it's not recommended because you can strip the inside of it. So I'm just going to go gentle. Like that's it, because I don't want to strip that lock. Okay, now that the car is, the wheel is tightened down. Oh wow, there's actually wait, there's a stop on this. Oh, it's because it's in gear. So I would have probably been able to take the wheels off while the car was in the air. I'm dumb, but that's okay. Now I'm just gonna lower it quick. Alright, there you go, and that's how you do the brake pads. I'm just going to throw them on the other side, and then we'll take it for a test drive. So this is like my little work area. I ended up just taking my dad's truck back here, so I don't have to walk all these tools back. Yeah, it is really muddy. You can see that it's like cutting up the ground and stuff like that. But so this is my dad's truck. It's stock. It has an exhaust. That's really it. So yeah, this is my little, I guess you could say, workshop area. Now I got the toolbox, the tires, the parts washer, jack. Like, it's my little own mini garage. It's not really a garage because can't put a car in it, but I like working back here. It's a nice flat spot where my dad's truck's parked, and I just get to work on cars out there. Now, when you put new pads in, make sure the car's off. Mine's running right now, but make sure the car is off, and you want to, before you start driving, pump the pedal until it feels hard. The reason why you do that is because if you just start the car and start driving, your foot's going to go all the way to the floor and you're not going to be able to stop. The pedal definitely feels different. It's the same braking feel, like it doesn't stop any faster, I should say, when I'm aggressively driving, and I'm stopping like fast, then it'll probably, like, it won't have as much heat fade, and the pedal position is more at the top. I don't have to put my foot to the floor, but the main feel is the same. It hasn't really changed. It's soft. It took me like 20 minutes or less probably to do both sides. So it was well worth it. The pads weren't too expensive for a performance pad, and I think it's a really good upgrade that you could do to your car for pretty cheap. I freaking love these roads. WRX guy, what's up, dude? Don't worry, I'm paying attention to driving. I'm not actually looking at the camera. I'm looking at everything. So I'm just going to close off here. Thank you everyone for watching. I got myself a Subway. Oh yeah, you can see it in the background. That's cool. Alright, so yeah, see you later.